No more leaks, no more rumours, no more speculation. OnePlus Nord Day has finally come and gone, and we now know everything about the phone that OnePlus have been leaking for the last 2 months. Mine arrives on the 27th of July, along with the OnePlus Buds. Before then, let's talk everything OnePlus Nord. Seriously though, the Nord has been one of the most hyped phones that I've ever seen. Not even just for a mid-range phone, flagships, anything, iPhones, Samsung, you name it. This has been one of the most hyped phones that we've seen over the years, and I've liked it. The marketing strategy, the hype they've generated, everyone's bought into it, and it's worked. I'll get into the phone and the specs in a second, but first I just want to talk about my experiences so far. Let's start with the AR launch, the Augmented Reality Event that OnePlus put on for us. So as you can see, I got a couple of things through. I got the OnePlus Experience card, the AR card, which came through the post as part of my pre-order, which came with this little bit of cardboard inside for me to use on the app. Now, I was excited, I was ready. 20 minutes beforehand, I got Unbox Therapy's stream up. He was streaming at the same time, I got his stream up, and I had my phone ready, a OnePlus 7 Pro, on the app. Everything looked fine at the time, and then the stream starts, and I see nothing on my phone. Nothing comes up, not a single thing shows that is showing on Unbox Therapy's channel, and I'm a little bit confused. I checked for an update, nothing there. And then eventually, it gets to about 3:05, once the event's fully started, everything's going ahead, and my app decides to update right at that time. It updates, I open it up, put the cardboard in, and it works. I'm 5 minutes behind though. So now I'm 5 minutes behind, it's pointless me having this thing because I'm watching the stream and I can see it anyway. So I'm just unsure whether this was a good idea. So I basically watched the whole thing on Unbox Therapy's stream and didn't use my app and my cardboard at all. It didn't work, something went wrong, and it didn't work properly for me. And it's a bit of a shame. Yes, it's memorable, the fact that it's the first AR smartphone launch. It's memorable. I look back on it and yeah, you can see why they did it. But personally, I think they should have done something like Apple did at WWDC this year, where they set out a video in advance, pre-recorded, make it a good experience that way. Yeah, Apple smashed it for WWDC. Their online event is the best I've ever seen. And maybe OnePlus couldn't beat that, fair enough. But I think that would have been the better way to go. Easier for everyone to watch it, less problems, and I think they could have done a pretty good job with that experience. So in my opinion, the AR launch didn't go great, and I don't think that smartphones should be launched through AR. After the event, I was waiting for an invite code. I went on the website and there it was waiting for me. I got the Grey Onyx variant, 8GB and 128GB of storage. I think that'll be enough for me personally, and for the price of £379 in the UK, that's pretty good. The other thing was, because of the pre-order, I was 85th. If you didn't know, check out my video. 85th, come on, it's pretty quick. I was 85th. That meant that I got a free gift with it on the pre-order, along with the invitation code. It was a list of specs that we could choose from, like flagship camera, 5G, 90Hz refresh rate, all those kind of things. And it didn't have anything else next to it. It was just said free, free, free. No indication of what the gift might be, so I just left it on flagship camera, went to checkout, there we go. Check my email, and I'm getting a blue sandstone bumper case. Yeah, not cool. So I went back online, tried to look at what I could do. Could I change it? Could I not? I was trying to get in chat for like half an hour, couldn't do it. Ended up seeing that the different things that you could get correlated to what you chose. So 5G ended up being the OnePlus Buds in blue. A different one ended up being the OnePlus Buds in white. And I got a case. Yeah. So I cancelled my order, did it all again, no hassle, and I'm getting the free OnePlus Buds in blue. To me, that is pretty impressive. So I'm getting the OnePlus Buds in blue worth 80 quid and the phone together, a combined £379. That's a bargain in the UK, absolute bargain. Right, now that my rant of the AR launch is over a little bit, let's get into the specs, let's get into the phone, and I want to talk about the Nord and what I think so far. Okay, here we go. So the design is glass, metal and plastic. Yes, parts of it are plastic. So the front and back are Gorilla Glass 5 with the frame being a hard plastic but with metallic buttons. Now this wasn't made clear on OnePlus's website, it wasn't made clear on the AR launch, and even some of the videos that you see online, it's not made clear. The edge of the phone, the frame of the phone is a hard plastic, it's not aluminium. The screen is a 6.44 inch Full HD AMOLED display with a resolution of 1080 by 2400 and a 20:9 aspect ratio, which is quite nice, with a PPI, a pixels per inch, of 408. Pretty solid, but the one that stands out to me is the 90Hz refresh rate and 120Hz touch sampling. So the screen touch sampling, recognizing where you're touching, refreshes 180 times a second, and the screen itself refreshes 90 times a second. Compared to 60 frames a second, that's going to be much smoother to use, much better experience, and as I've said before, all phones should go high refresh rate. It's incredible. Yes, the phone is HDR10 Plus compatible. Many questions again regarding that. It is, and there's 2048 different brightness levels of auto brightness, which is quite impressive. It's got an in-display fingerprint scanner like the 7 Pro. It's got a flat display, better than curved edges. I actually can't wait to use the flat display. It's got a flat display and it's looking pretty good on paper. Hopefully there's no display issues like we've seen on the OnePlus 8 Pro, but I've got my fingers crossed. 90Hz should be fine, and apparently it's a very similar screen to the OnePlus 8, which is very good. It also has a peak brightness of 1000 nits, which is very, very good. Let's talk about the cameras. So OnePlus are saying we have 6 cameras on the back. If you don't like cameras, then we've done something wrong. No, I like cameras, but the way you've done it, not a massive fan. So they've got 4 cameras on the back. They've got the same main sensor that's on the OnePlus 7 Pro, the OnePlus 7T Pro on the OnePlus 8, which is the 48 megapixel f1.75 IMX586, which comes with OIS. They have an ultra-wide sensor, an 8 megapixel ultra-wide sensor at f2.25, and it has a 119 degree field of view, which is pretty nice. But then we get to the ones they've just chucked in at the last second. A 5 megapixel depth sensor. Don't need that. A 2 megapixel macro sensor. What is the point? These extra sensors are pointless. It's just for numbers. I don't see the point in it. You could have just put a telephoto in there. Even if you scrap the depth sensor and the macro sensor, I think the phone's back would look much cleaner and it would be better overall, and you'd even save money. Anyway, enough of these useless little sensors on the back that no one's going to use. The front-facing cameras, there's 2 of them. 2 of them. We have a 32 megapixel main sensor on the front, which is pretty impressive for the front-facing camera. It's a Sony IMX616, and we also have an 8 megapixel ultra-wide sensor, which has 105 degrees field of view. I like that they've got 2 sensors on the front. It's in the pill hole punch design in the top left corner. I mean, they could have just had the ultra-wide and just had a single hole punch. I would have preferred that. I don't take that many selfies, I don't take that much selfie video, so I don't use it that much. These are for face unlock, and I think they could have reduced the size of that had they've only used 1 camera. But I'm not complaining, there's 2 there, and I'm pretty sure they'll both be useful. Yes, Nightscape is here, come down from the more flagship devices from OnePlus into their now budget-friendly phone. Now with regards to OnePlus saying this is a flagship camera, that's pushing it a little bit in my opinion. The 8 Pro has a flagship camera, but that's got a different sensor. It's better, it's well optimized, that's a good camera. The one that they're using in the Nord, and they've used in the 7 Pro, the 7T Pro, the 8, it's a few generations old now. Hopefully the software will be well optimized to work with that sensor. We don't know what the image processing is going to be like with the Snapdragon 765G inside the device. Hopefully it's good, but it might not be as good as the ones that have a Snapdragon 800 series in. We'll have to wait and see. But I think for the price, it'll give a similar output, and unless you're looking side by side, I don't think you'll see a big difference. Inside, powering the Nord, we have a Snapdragon 765G, which is a 7nm chip, which obviously won't be as powerful as a Snapdragon 800 series that are out, and the 865 Plus that's coming out. It's not going to compete with them, but in day-to-day use, I don't think most people will be able to tell if there's a Snapdragon 800 series or a Snapdragon 765G in their phone, unless obviously doing heavy gaming or they've got 15 apps they have to keep switching between in the background. I think it'll be fine. At this price, you can't expect much more, and it's actually quite good for battery life, which we'll probably talk about later. We've got an Adreno 620 GPU inside for the graphics. We have a 4115 mAh battery. It's quite big for a Snapdragon 765G device with a full HD screen. Yes, it's 90Hz, but the 4115 mAh battery should be able to drive this all day. I've got no worries about that, but I'll test it out when it comes. And if you're struggling, there's Warp Charge 30T, which has been brought over from the more premium devices down to here. Fast charging, 0 to 70% in 30 minutes. It's rapid, it's really good. Yes, there's 120Hz watt charging coming soon, which is incredible. But for now, on this kind of device, perfect. Oxygen OS 10.5 comes in the box. Great. I mean, Oxygen OS is one of my favourite Android skins. Stock Android from Google or OnePlus's Oxygen OS. Great customization, great little tweaks they've got in there, and it hopefully should be keeping everything running nice and smooth. It comes with 2 years of software updates, so Android 11, Android 12, Android 13, please Android, bring back sweet names. Apparently Android 11 is called Red Velvet Cake. Why can't they just call it Android Red Velvet Cake? That's class. Anyway, yeah, 2 years of software updates, 3 years of security updates, and like I say, I've never used a Snapdragon 7 series phone, so I'm quite interested to see how it'll feel compared to other flagship devices that I've used in the past. So little extras then, positive and negative. It comes with dual SIM. We have a UFS 2.1 storage inside instead of the fast UFS 3 of more flagship devices. Hopefully that won't matter too much, but there might be a bit of a speed difference. We'll see about that. USB 2.0 Type-C port rather than 3.0 or 3.1. There's a single mono speaker on the bottom rather than dual speakers of the 7T or the 8 Pro or the 8. It's just a single mono speaker on the bottom of the phone. Again, a little bit disappointing. And you might be surprised, you might not be. No wireless charging, no headphone jack, and no IP official water and dust resistance. Now for pricing and availability and all the configurations. There's a 6GB of RAM and 64GB storage variant that's only available in India. There's an 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage that's available in India and Europe. £379 in the UK, €399, and 27,999 Indian rupees. 12GB of RAM, 256GB of storage for £469 or €499, 29,999 Indian rupees. Like we said, it's only available in India and Europe. The US, I'm surprised it's not available there. Maybe future devices will come there, but for now, only available in India and Europe. Is the OnePlus Nord overhyped? Now, I've seen so many things just before the event, after the event. Oh, it's so overhyped. What are they doing? It's stupid. What they did, in my opinion, worked. Their marketing strategy, the hype they generated, it's our fault if it's overhyped because we bought into it. So we're always all over on Instagram and Twitter. Can't wait for the phone. On YouTube, you saw everything leading up to the event. Everyone's hyped. Yes, that's their marketing strategy, but at the end of the day, they are a business. They have to make money. They have to build excitement for their products. If they didn't do that, then they're probably doing something wrong. They're trying to generate hype for things that they're bringing out, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Yes, little things like saying it's a flagship camera, all this kind of stuff. Okay, I wouldn't say it's a flagship camera, but the fact that people are complaining that it's overhyped, we bought into it. We can't expect the OnePlus 8T Pro at £400. We knew this was the kind of device we were getting. So, yes, I can see the argument either side. I get what everyone's saying, it's overhyped. But I personally don't think it was. I enjoyed the hype, I enjoyed the excitement behind it. OnePlus going back to their roots a little bit, they had to kind of hype that up, going back into that budget price range, and we're not going to see those £400 flagship killers with every single feature anymore. There's some competitors out there, so the iPhone SE is priced at £419 in the UK, but that's for the 64GB model. This is really cheap, and you get good value now, 90Hz in comparison to what the iPhone can offer. The OnePlus 7T in the UK is £469. I know it might be cheaper elsewhere, but that's nearly a 25% increase in price over the Nord. I still think the Nord is better value, but yes, if you need the things in the 7T, you can make the jump in price to get that. The Poco F2 Pro just dropped in price. So on Amazon now you can get it for £399, which is £50 off. And that's pretty good value for what you're getting. That's very good value, and it's probably, with all this cheaper phone competition going on, dropping their prices, love to see it. But the Pixel 4a might have something to say pretty soon. We don't know when it's out, meant to be out 2 months ago. But I think that it'll be the Pixel 4a against the OnePlus Nord as my true budget Android phone of the year. Can't wait for the Pixel 4a to come out, and there'll be things back and forth where one beats the other. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, that's it for this video. I get my OnePlus Nord and my OnePlus Buds hopefully on the 27th, so on Monday in a few days. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed, ding that notification bell so you don't miss any more videos from me on the Nord. Moving forwards, I'll be bringing as much content as I can, and I've got a little bit of a new setup here, so hope it looks a little bit better. That's it for me. This was Fox Tech. I'll catch you on the next one.